viewers are going to get a psychological crisis if you show them this construction site. This is only something for tough nerves. Hi, I'm Christian from LR Time, and in this episode we're gonna show you how we finalize our outdoor 2-post lift install.
Hope you enjoy the video.
Good. If you have not seen the first episode where we laid down the concrete foundation for our 2-post outdoor lift here in our driveway, I recommend you watching that video first. Otherwise, let's go ahead and check out how we installed this thing.
Yeah, but what about those arms? Even if we mount them wider, they will still reach those far-in discovery mounting points for high lifts.
If not, we're gonna have to buy a Fiat 500. We can basically bolt it down like this now.
Yeah, but is that gonna be above ground or underground?
Okay, it's too much work to explain this now. Okay, I need to keep a minimum distance here to the wall, okay? So you can walk through here. The whole thing is sitting in the same angle as the garage is, so I can drive easily through.
Oh my God.
Now I'm gonna mark this, and then we're gonna do some serious drilling. Instead of getting a Fiat 500, we could also replace the bottom plates.
Okay, I'm gonna stop record for a second before a next marriage crisis is gonna happen.
See, I got this all aligned. This is nice and parallel here. And here I got the correct spread marked on my bar. Okay, see how precisely I'm working?
Oh my God. That one is 3 weeks old.
The other one 2.5. So I'm gonna get the Hilti ready.
Oh my God.
You're gonna check that it's somewhat straight.
I actually think the hole is not deep enough.
It's the specification of the manufacturer.
They apparently don't have a clue.
Yeah.
So he even bought new brushes to clean out those holes. I can't believe it. I know that package came this week from Amazon.
It's set in the manufacturer's specification that you have to brush out the holes 2 times. We're using chemical anchors. You have to make sure they're still good, so when I turn them around, you have to see the fluid inside still moving up and down, okay?
Look at that, there's a mark here. It's probably right at the length that we need, because that bolt is way too long for that little hole he drilled. Our hole here is at a perfect height. So Christian did apparently a good job, even though I think the hole is too little.
Drop it in here, it's hard to get it back out.
Oh my God.
Okay. The target is to get the fluid from the chemical anchor to come out on the top.
We use a hand. Go down.
Put it in here and it seals the top.
But I think it's not cured yet. And you will damage.
It's cured good enough.
Oh my God. So now if it doesn't fit, it's not going to be my fault. I'm not going to... Drinking coffee after lunch. I'm assuming that the actual post is only secured with those 4 tiny holes. Oh my God.
Okay, so what I got here is some tar. Yes, and I gotta put this down here in a thin layer so that moisture isn't not gonna get underneath. Now, let's see if they hold the torque. See how it's squeezing out here nicely?
Ooh.
That was a good idea. Let me know what you think in the comments.
No, don't.
Yeah, that's so devastating.
Yeah.
But if you are one of those guys who tells us that, oh, the oil is diluted by the brake cleaner, save your comment.
Please.
Okay, so this is holding the torque. We can basically give this now a cleanup around here. Yeah, got this all laid down in a thin coat. Put this on top. Okay, we probably have to retighten them because it's gonna squeeze out more and more of the bitumen and then...
So you think the 60 Newton meter are not? Oh my God, we're gonna get that in the comments if you put it down like that. So we are in a friend's shop with a suitable metal saw. And Christian's gonna cut second cut. Look at all that stock. Christian would be so happy if that was his. I still don't know what we need those for.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do... So, let's go home.
But you're missing the post.
I just get them pre-positioned, make sure my holes fit. Now we gotta get the posts over.
Yeah, but... Oh my God. So the boys are back. Whoops. There's a tree behind me.
Now we got at least power.
And it's not working. By accident he got it to move.
I'm pushing the switch, that's no accident. Watch it, it's gonna jump. So if it lifts you, it lifts the Discovery.
So it needs a little bit of oil.
That's a beefy Acme thread, that's for sure. It says 2009, so that's really nice. This thing is way newer than I thought. Oh, hopefully that's not a stupid idea.
The stupid idea has already been made a couple of weeks ago. Christian wants to add a drainage. That means we have to dig another hole. Search for our old drainage from our cistern. Look at that, we found that pipe.
Our viewers are going to get a psychological crisis if you show them this construction site. This is only something for tough nerves.
The local hardware store. Actually like going to the hardware store. I want to look around and Christian always in and out in 2 seconds. So we actually need 75 millimeters. I thought once those 2 posts were installed, we are over the mountain and getting ready to lift my car, but it doesn't look like it. You need to dig your trench deeper. Oh no, you're gonna cut a hole out of that pipe. So it's a hole, but it's not a pretty hole.
First it needs to fit. Fits pretty good, I would say. See, now I got here a drain.
Oh my God. So he's gonna see if his drainage is living up. How big of a decline do you have in here?
Well, looks like enough of a decline.
So that is where the water drains to.
So I got this drain system now pretty much installed, and I want to fill the trench now a little bit with sand so that I can compact it tonight.
In my world, that is a big debacle.
Nothing is a debacle.
Let me show you what I've got in the mail today. Look at that. A new patch from Michael from Australia. They do a lot of hiking and he drives the Discovery. And he's one of our Patreons.
So here I got my casting done to basically put like a foundation below my drainage system here. And I'm also going to put some steel in here as a reinforcement. So I got this now all filled with concrete and it cured overnight. So I can take the casting off now. So I gotta make a casting again. Oh shit. So I got like a socket around here now out of some mortar. And here, same thing I still got to do. Put some steel in to reinforce the corner. Got the grout all back in. I hope it's gonna lighten up a little bit. I think I stained it a little bit too brown, but we'll see how it looks when it's dry and when it's all cleaned up around here. Look who's back admiring my almost finished work from the weekend where I had absolutely zero assist.
Well, I went to BMX contest with Philip where he placed second in the pro division.
So I outsourced my job. Was that all four? Yeah. Okay, if you miss one, Vera's car is gonna drop. I shimmed the posts in position. So this is here in this axis. So that's good too.
Perfect.
Yeah?
Yes.
And it's leaning outwards.
Oh my God.
That's what the manual says. Instead of leaning inwards, if it leans, it should be leaned outward.
So first lift. That doesn't do us any good, Christian.
Yeah, I want to inspect it. It
says okay.
in the manual that after you lifted it, you're supposed to inspect it.
Wow, that's too high.
That's it.
I wonder why they're not using the engine.
Because the car only weighs 800 kg. Next one.
Yeah, now my big bad. Oh my God. Oh, it's not as tight as I thought. Christian knows what he's doing, by the way. I'm waiting.
No more? Good?
It's gonna check if the post's gonna tilt.
Good. So that's 114.5.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh shit. It's half an inch in now.
No, we're not gonna check the wheel bearings. The wheel bearings are fine. He's looking for excuses.
That chain is rubbing on my cover, and it's not gonna look good in the video.
Bought it and installed it to lift up that big badass heavy car. That lift point looks really good, I have to say.
So.
That one, oh Christian.
Okay. But if it topples over, there's my escape route, and I removed all obstacles, just like when I'm using a chainsaw. That's maximum height.
Maximum height, I told you it's.
Okay. I think the thumbnail would be better with the smart car underneath. I wanted to go underneath the first time, not you. Yeah, we're gonna take the body off. First we have to wait until your engine fails.
So look at that. We painted it in ivory. Christian wanted to paint it white or gray. Thank God I got my way. That looks way better than just some industrial white.
Now you can see my drainage system functioning, okay? And just for those of you who right now comments that the chain is wet, I used bike lubrication, so a motorcycle chain gets wet as well. I did fix that control panel here. It was all broken and smashed up, and a new one was not available. So you got to turn the main disconnect switch to on.
Oh, it's on off. It was on.
Okay, and if you push the up button and hold it depressed, it will raise. Okay, now keep raising it.
Yeah.
Now once it's above a certain elevation, this is about good, stop it. It automatically latches these arms in position so the car doesn't pivot around. Can you see that? There's an automatic brake. Now lower the thing and hold the button depressed, and it will automatically stop when it reaches a certain elevation. It stopped. Now if you hit it again, it will actually beep, and you don't have to stop it manually. It will stop automatically above ground. There you go. And now when you are in the bottom position here, the arms are actually now free and can pivot in.
Yeah.
It has this automatic locking feature here installed. So once it raises, it automatically engages this lock. It does the same thing on this arm. We got it wired to our 400 volt AC supply, 3-phase. Now typically when you have a 2-post lift like this one, where the posts are interconnected with a chain, the chain is usually running above ground. But on ours, we actually installed it in such a way that the chain is running below ground. So let's lift up our gutter here. Okay, there you go. I have like a concrete slab where it runs in, and it has a galvanized tray, and it has a chain guide right here, and it also acts as a water drain. So it will drain the water below the posts automatically if it's raining and running down our driveway here, because the driveway is a little bit on a slope. It will get in here and run down this drain pipe, and that drain pipe is connected to our drain system over here in front of the garage. I got this all nicely sealed, so it should be okay in the winter time. On this large foundation, oh, you scratched my fresh paint. I basically boxed the frame in here and I painted it with tar, and it's on risers here to get it to the right height. Here you see the chain brake disconnect switch. If the chain rips apart, this switch will stop the motor so that the second post over there is not gonna stop and this one keeps on lowering. So that's a safety feature. Now one big advantage of an electric lift with Acme screws and a chain guide is that it runs so quiet. Now listen to this one. You basically have no noise whatsoever, and you can use this thing on a Sunday out here in the open. There. So we can drive over this cover, and it's even with the ground, so we don't have this annoying bump what you usually have in the workshops when you want to get onto one of those 2-post lifts with a chain drive. This is a 50 millimeter Acme thread, which is pretty much standard for these kind of two-post lifts. The Acme nut right here has a backup nut which is installed below. The backup nut is not carrying any load. Until this nut would eventually completely fail if it's worn through, it will drop onto the second backup nut. That will actuate a lever. The lever will tilt out and lock the lift in position so it becomes inoperable. Because last video we had some comments that people were concerned that this Acme nut's gonna wear out and the lift's gonna drop. This cannot happen with this setup. Did you know that?
Yes, I actually did, because I got that lecture before, at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. On this one there is a belt drive up there running the Acme screw, and there is a little potentiometer, and that potentiometer picks up the rotation of the Acme screw, and that's how I can program the bottom position and the maximum top position here over a circuit board and a couple of dip switches installed in this box. Really easy to operate. This lift has a 3-ton capacity, which is barely good enough for a Discovery, but because we don't use it so often, I think it's perfectly safe. It is installed to the manufacturer's recommendation in regard to the concrete slab, anchor bolts, and everything else. It is a non-symmetrical lift for smaller vehicles. Typically, mostly in the US, you have a symmetrical lift, which means the front arm is the same size as the back arm. On ours, you can see the front one pulls only out a little bit, and the back one pulls out further. That's what's called a non-symmetrical lift, and it is more suitable for regular passenger cars, and a big SUV like the Discovery is maxing out this lift with 3 tons.
That's all we have to say about that. Please. So, 1 second.
Now, one more advantage you got with an electric lift like this one compared to a hydraulic lift is that you can control up and down motions without having to raise it first. So if I want to lower it now 1 inch, I can do that. If I want to raise it 1 inch, I can do that. I don't have to mess around with the safety lever and raising it out of the latch like you have to do on these American hydraulic jacks. Makes it really easy when you want to do a body on-off on a Discovery or on a Jeep. Now, one big advantage we got now here with this lift in front of the garage is that we can take the body off and take the chassis and roll it into the garage and actually have it over our pit.
Yes.
Not even a car shop has that.
Yeah, people think we don't need the pit anymore. Well, yes, we do.
That's it for our 2-post outdoor lift install. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please think about subscribing. There is a video every Sunday. We thank our Patreons for their support very much. Without them, these videos would not be possible. Basically, our Patreons paid for this lift. And
We'll see you next Sunday.